think we're live. Are we live? Let me check. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, looks like we're live. Okay, we're live. Okay. Welcome, folks, to Tea Time with Right of Way and VISOR. I'm Vincent.
I'm Frank.
And welcome to our second edition of Tea Time.
This time we're coming from
Mount EDSA. Now, we had this whole complicated plan of being on top, but that just kind of didn't work out because it was too windy and the wind noise was going to interfere with the audio. So, this is a learning process.
pretty much.
Oh, thank you, Fred.
Let's have some tea first.
Let's start off with some tea. So we're here in Mount EDSA, or Mount Kamuning, a pedestrian footbridge that became famous about how long ago? Yeah, a couple months ago. It made the rounds of social media. People were making fun of it, and it's just, I mean, Frank and I just climbed it. We came from the other side of EDSA. Frank is a regular biker, so he's fit. He's probably fitter than I am. And it's a bit of a climb, don't you think?
That's why we need the ice tea. The thing that shocks me is this looks sturdy, but it's actually wobbling.
That's right. I mean, for those who haven't experienced it, it is a little unstable up there. When you get up there, not only is it windy, but it really, you can feel it sort of swaying. Perhaps because of the wind, perhaps because it wasn't. Yeah, it's not braced by anything. I mean, it's just two pillars there supporting it from underneath, with no support sort of laterally. So it doesn't feel too safe up there. So what do you think, Frank? I mean, you know, this footbridge has got a lot of crap from people for being too tall, for being too PWD unfriendly, senior unfriendly. What do you think? What do you think about it?
I don't know. I mean, the MMDA is between a rock and a hard place, but they could have still tried to make something that at least gives, you know, elderly people or people who can't walk properly or wheelchair users. I mean, how are you going to get them to?
Yeah, forget it. So I mean,
some sort of chance to. But the weird thing is, this isn't the only bridge of its type. There are a few others. I think this one got flagged because it's so visible. The other ones, they're a little hidden within the MRT stations and things.
Okay.
They're the same kind of design, but some of them actually do have elevators.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. So I mean, so you got to be able-bodied.
Yes.
Relatively young and fit to be able to climb this pedestrian footbridge. But Frank, let me play a little bit of devil's advocate. And I think what I saw on social media was sort of people who were defending it were saying, well, at least there is one.
True, but you could, there was this beautiful mock-up someone did how EDSA could look with, you know, cycle lanes and a pedestrian ring and a pedestrian crossing, a level pedestrian crossing, which is entirely possible on the street. It just takes some planning and some political will and some city planning basically to do it. Or you can make an underpass. I mean, they're building a subway, so why not just build a few underpasses, which can be gradual, so wheelchair users can use them. They can have elevators much easier.
Yeah.
If you look at other cities, they have loads of those. Makati uses underpasses.
Are the other passes in Makati PWD friendly?
Not that, well, a little more than this.
Are they?
Not much, no.
Do they have wheelchair access?
No, but they do have escalators.
Okay, but
at least if you're not good on your legs, you have some sort of chance to, you know, get up and down there.
okay, but this really brings, I think, brings up a very good point about these kinds of structures, is that they aren't generally PWD friendly, whether it's Makati or whether it's Mount Kamuning or Mount EDSA here. You know, the provisions for people with persons with disabilities, they seem to be on very low priority.
We're still years and years behind other countries. So if you look towards the European Union, the EU, as bureaucratic as it might be, it is good for pushing these kind of things and making them law across all countries. Because these are uncomfortable things that require shops to put in wheelchair ramps, it requires cities to spend money, and unless you force that from a very high political level, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what's needed here. I mean, there's first steps coming, like the new generation jeepneys, they're a little more PWD friendly. you know, it's coming,
Yeah.
but it needs a bit more push. If you're disabled here, you're still pretty much screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I've been meaning to do a PW episode and haven't gotten around to it, but you're right. If you're PWD, you're pretty much screwed because you cannot move around the city. I mean, it makes all the world of a difference for a person in a wheelchair to be able to cross or to be able to move around the city if the infrastructure is not built with them in consideration. And I think this is a clear example, and I think, as you said, because it's a very visible one, it got a lot of flack on social media.
Yeah,
But-
it's easy to make fun of. Right?
yeah, it kind of is.
We went out and had the sign made. I think CNN or someone actually picked it up and filmed
Yeah,
it.
I saw that on social media before we even ever met. I saw that.
Suddenly everyone called it Mount EDSA, so you saw it here first. But probably, otherwise maybe.
So, what kind of advice do we give people who are making decisions in terms of building commuter infrastructure?
Just look towards other countries that maybe are further ahead, see what policies they have in place, what long-term plans, development plans they have in place, and what laws they have in place. Although with laws here, it's always a problem because we already have laws for everything here. It's just nobody cares about it.
You know, I mean, that's the other thing is we have all the laws, as you said. We have the Clean Air Act. We have, I'm sure we have a law for. I'm sorry, I don't know the law, but there is a law for PWD access, and yet we do not, as a country, we aren't able to implement and comply with these laws.
It's the implementation that's the problem.
It's always, I think, where we fail, Frank.
And that comes down to political will. If you don't have, look, there's elections coming up, right? So maybe don't choose your candidates based on who's got the most posters out here. And some of them, you know what the problem with elections here is, with the posters?
Okay, well, yeah. Tell me what's the problem.
I'm as a foreigner, I get confused. But
Okay.
some of them, I see their names in the news for various reasons. And then I see the posters, so I'm not sure, are these election banners or are they wanted posters? And
You know.
so maybe next time when you go and vote, ask these candidates, whoever they may be, controversial or new guys or familiar faces, drill them. What are your plans for the traffic issue? What are the plans for disabled issues? What are your plans for environmental issues? And don't let them get away with political talk. Oh yes, we will prioritize one. No, cut the crap. Give me precise plans.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
And you know, the problem here, Frank, is that our politicians and the candidates who run for political office aren't good about giving concrete answers to people. They will always give motherhood statements, like you said, oh yes, we'll prioritize mass
Oh,
transportation.
it's close to my heart. I mean, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah. But then when they get elected, then we never hear from them again.
Exactly. So
And so I think this brings us to a very important point, especially as you say, with near elections, is democracy is work. And we as citizens really have to be on top of our political leaders, especially the elected ones, to make sure that they really fulfill their promises and make sure that they do as they said they were going to do.
yeah, that's the big problem is accountability.
Yeah, and we need to hold our public officials accountable. And I think if you look at the state of infrastructure today, the state of mass transportation, it really is, I think, an indication of how a lot of our policymakers, our decision makers, have really failed us. And you've got the MMDA who's responsible for a lot of what we see around Metro Manila. And some of the stuff they come up with, you just don't understand what they're thinking, or if they're thinking at all.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying their best, but
I mean, on one hand, I gotta give credit to the MMDA that they're trying, but on the other hand, sometimes the stuff that they're trying is just beyond words.
they do say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, you know, there's a prime example of that behind us. You know, let's
Yeah.
build a pedestrian crossing. Thanks, but
Thanks, but I mean,
how am I going to get up there? So,
yeah, exactly. So I mean, unless they build an elevator there for PWD access, maybe reinforce it.
On the other hand, they do say you should have 20 minutes exercise a day to stay healthy.
So maybe this is MMDA's way of saying, hey, you need the exercise.
Exactly. So, you know, we're all
So-
getting a bit on the big side with all this fast food. We're helping you. We're helping you stay slim.
So let's consider this MMDA's way of making sure we're fit. But of course, as we said, it excludes the PWDs, the elderly, and others who have trouble with mobility.
but there's always tomorrow, and I think it's easy to criticize it, but we should also more do, even as the media, is to have constructive criticism.
Yeah, always.
Not just say, oh, that's crap.
Right.
Say how to do it better.
Yeah.
You know, if people like, I don't know, like myself, who have seen all the EU laws, you know, make suggestions of how it can be done better, rather than just ripping it apart. And then, you know, be constructive.
I agree. Be constructive. And I think on at least the right of way, and I think even on VISOR.
We have these media outlets,
Yeah.
and we have a sort of social responsibility.
Yeah, so we try to be constructive in our criticisms and offer alternative solutions. And I think here's the one thing I'll say again: nobody has a monopoly on good ideas and good solutions. We all have to listen to each other, right?
Exactly.
Because the good solution is out there, so we need to listen to each other.
And it's easier these days than ever. You
Yeah.
can just contact us. Everyone can be part of this process.
Everyone can be part of this conversation. So
I think we're pretty much out of time.
Okay, so that's it. Another episode of Tea Time. Thanks again, Frank.
Thanks.
Nice to have tea with you again.
And we'll see
And
you.
we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And
Where we haven't figured out.
we won't tell you where we'll be in a couple of weeks. If you have any ideas of where Frank and I should show up in 2 weeks' time, send us a message on Twitter. You can find us at VISOR.PH or VISOR.PH on Twitter. Use the hashtag TeaTimeROW VISOR, and we'll see if we can show up in your neighborhood. Until then, this is Vincent
Frank?
signing off.